like I said in my War for the Planet of the Apes review, some movie reviews of mine are just going to be late. And it's either going to be because I was on vacation, or I was deadly ill, or just I didn't see the movie on time. But no, this one I was on vacation, and I did see this on July 23rd in IMAX at Mann's Chinese Theater. Maybe it's TCL Theater now. I don't know. I saw this in IMAX at that very famous movie theater in Los Angeles. But yeah, Dunkirk. So there's this little guy named Christopher Nolan. He hasn't really done anything big. Nothing like Batman or Inception or Interstellar or Memento, anything like that. He didn't do those. But, yes, he did. Probably some of the greatest movies of all time. And so he directed this movie, and it's about World War II. And so I'm horrible at history when it comes to doing something like, a movie review. But if I'm ever in a history class, I'm just great at it. It's always funny. My good subjects that I get A's in are like English and history, but I always get like C's in math and science. I don't know why. But yeah, so it was like the time is World War II, and basically the movie is 3 stories. There's one story that follows. It's kind of hard to explain where they actually are because they keep moving. But there's one. The main story is about a group of boys on the beach. There's another story about 2 boys and a guy. That sounds weird, but they're on a boat, and there's one story with Tom Hardy, who's a pilot, and he's flying in the air. Now, I don't really want to say when all these stories take place, because in my opinion, that's a spoiler, but they all take place at a certain time. Like, I really can't say it, because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, you really have to pay attention to figure out when they all take place, because they keep cutting back and forth. Like, it's not like Inglourious Bastards, where like the first act is story 1, the second act is story 2, and the third and final act is story 3. No, this is like jump cuts, literally, where there will be 5 minutes of the story of the boys on the beach, and then 10 minutes of the people on the boat, and then 3 minutes of Tom Hardy in the sky, and then go back and keep reversing. And so, there's some scenes where one scene will take place at night, and then you go back to Tom Hardy, and it's like bright and early in the morning. And so you really have to pay attention to figure out why that is. But back to Christopher Nolan, this guy, seriously, he can direct anything, I feel like. I don't know, he somehow always finds a way to do it. Like, he can make a movie just great. He can make it a slow burn, and it'll probably be great. Which I should add, this is probably his shortest movie. It is his shortest movie, actually. It's only 1 hour and 46 minutes. And most of his movies are 2 hours and a half long. But yeah, I was really interested to learn that this wasn't even going to be 2 hours long. One of the things Christopher Nolan does best is scenery. He always makes his movies beautiful, and this is probably, I just haven't seen Interstellar, to be honest. But I don't know, maybe I'll get some hate from one of my friends or something for not seeing it. But yeah, I haven't seen Interstellar, and I own it. I own it, and I still haven't seen it. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what the scenery is like in that. I would assume it's probably really beautiful because that's a space movie. But this one, he knows how to do his colors right. The colors in this one, like the colors you see in the poster, that's like the color throughout the whole movie, basically. I don't know. I really liked it. It was kind of like calm. I don't know. It was really nice, and I really liked it. The cast is also great, too. Like, everyone just does a good job at playing their characters in this movie. Like, with 3 separate storylines going on, there are a bunch of characters in it, and they all just do a really great job, and I was really impressed. I think, in my opinion, where the film falters is also with its characters again. You don't really know their names. There are only 2 characters' names I knew in the movie, and that was Harry Styles' character, who was named Alex, and that was because I looked it up on IMDb, because I was excited for Harry Styles in this movie. I'm not a big One Direction fan. I was just like, ooh, Harry Styles, that's kind of interesting. So I knew what his character's name was because I looked it up on IMDb. And the only character's name that actually addressed in the movie is this dude named George. That's probably the most used line in the movie, George. They say George so many times in this movie, and that's how I remember the name. If they didn't say George numerous times, I probably wouldn't have known that guy's name. But yeah, you don't really know anyone's name. I don't know, I found that interesting. And also, another thing that bothered me is that sometimes it's a little hard to understand what the characters are saying, and it's because of 2 reasons. One, it's because of what's going on in the scene. Like, there's either a bunch of people talking in the background, or there's a bunch of, bombs and gunshots going off, so it's hard to understand because, it's loud. Or it's because their accents are really thick, because they're British, so they have really thick accents, and so yeah, sometimes it was a little hard to understand what they were actually saying. Like, there was one scene where It's the guys on the beach, and they're inside a boat that's getting used as target practice by some bad guys, and so they're in the boat, and so Harry Styles is talking to a character, and it was a little hard to understand what he was saying. I don't know what he was saying actually, but yeah, other than that, I didn't really have that many problems with this movie. I thought it was really good. I think I'm gonna give Dunkirk a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. Christopher Nolan has done it again. He's always impressed me. I will admit I wasn't impressed with The Prestige. One of my friends recommended it to me, and I watched it. I wasn't really impressed, but yeah, I really like Dunkirk. If you get the chance, definitely check it out. I think you can, save those $5 that you were gonna use to go see the Emoji Movie and go see Dunkirk instead. Don't see the Emoji Movie. I mean, I don't really like telling people what to see and what to don't, like what not to see, because I try to just base my reviews on my opinion, but like, don't see the Emoji Movie. Like, that's not gonna be good. I don't know. But yeah, go check out Dunkirk. It's a good movie. Thank you all so much for listening. If you've liked what you listened to and you want to listen to more, go like, click, and subscribe. That would be really appreciated, and I would really like it. The links to all my social medias are down below. Other than that, this has been A Talk in Depth.